Welcome back, addicts. I'm here with Graham, and we are here to talk about a movie review, specifically The Ritual, which I'm going to let him talk about the plot and the characters that are in it.
Yeah, so The Ritual is a Netflix original, which lately have been pretty damn good, if I do say so.
Yeah, they got some great
The Ritual,
shows.
I think, is their best so far, though. I love this movie.
Out of just movies or shows too?
Out of the movies.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty
I love this movie so much. It's directed by David Bruckner, who pretty short list of things he's worked on so far, but I'm very impressed with what he's done. He did work in, I believe it was a movie called Signal, and then he did record, Amateur Night, a short in VHS, that movie, and it was probably the best short in the film. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
It's not surprising considering how good this movie was.
Yeah, this movie was a stellar. I think it was his directorial debut.
Wow, really?
If you look up his IMDb page, it's all been shorts, and this is something special. So basically, the plot is a group of friends experience a death, and to get over this, they decide to go on a hike through the Swedish wilderness. And then things go from bad to worse along the way.
As they always do.
Pretty much all I can say without really getting into spoilers, which we will later. Yeah. The characters in this, you follow the main character, Luke. It opens up, they're in a bar, and they're talking, they're trying to decide where they should go next. And
as like a guy's vacation type thing.
Yeah. Just kick back with the bros, something like that. And Robert, their friend, says, "Hey, let's go hiking. Let's do something active, see some beautiful scenery. Let's go." And later, after they leave the bar, they go to pick up some drinks from a store, and Luke and Robert go in, and there's a robbery that happens. Robert steps in and gets killed, while Luke does nothing. He just hides.
A little whiny.
Yeah. It was not his best moment for sure. And so after that, it moves on, and they do take the hike through the wilderness in Sweden, and they pour his ashes out. They bring his ashes to Sweden because that was Robert's idea to go hiking.
Right. As a dedication to him. Yeah,
dedication to him, which is sweet. But the whole time, you can see Luke dealing with his issues with, should I have done something? Should I have tried to help stop the robbery too?
And his friends give him a lot of crap too, because they weren't there, but one of their friends died, and so they have really mixed reactions on how they feel about him, and the way they feel about him has changed, and you can kind of sense that. So that puts a lot of tension in the air too as they're going on this trip. Yeah,
specifically his buddies Phil and Dom. Those two openly rebuke him for not having tried to do something to help Robert, while Hutch, who is kind of the leader of the group, he is keeping a level head. He's not taking sides as of yet, and he's just trying to keep the group, together. And along the way, Dom, Dom. It's a very annoying character. He whines the whole movie. He ends up falling and possibly tearing his ACL, something. He messed his knee up pretty bad.
Yeah. Of course, it's kind of like one of those things where they're like, "Oh, you're being kind of a baby. Come on, press through. It can't be that bad." So it's like one of those where it's like he probably hurt himself, but maybe not as bad as he leads on, which is But anyway.
But this prompts them to take a shortcut through the woods, which is not the original plan, because they see the cabin to which they're trying to get. And so the leader of the group, Hutch, he says, "Okay, look, he's hurt. Let's help him walk through the woods. We'll cut straight there." And this is where things start to get hairy.
Yeah.
It starts to get really crazy, almost instantly. And this is about as far as I would go in this video if you want to avoid any spoilers, because right after this, we're jumping into something that you would like to not know about, probably.
Because I would say probably our moments that we definitely want to highlight are all after this point in the movie, so definitely click away now if you're not wanting to hear any of those. Yeah, so I had a few moments that I really did enjoy. There was a couple towards the beginning part of the movie. Well, I guess I should say the middle. One would be when they get to the house, going upstairs and finding that Norse idol was something that was like really creepy, and like it's like probably like the first like scary thing, like quote unquote scary thing. It's not like the worst thing you're gonna see in this movie, but it's definitely one of those that like starts setting up the what you're gonna get later in the film. Another thing that was like almost immediately after that was the whole hallucination dream sequence that Luke goes through, and just like transitioning into that dream and then him waking up even like immediately after and seeing the little mark on his chest is something that's like, what the heck just happened. Also, it's like back to back, like all of them do it really well, and also finding when they find Hutch up in the tree, just almost like predator skin, or not skinned, but like gutted. And then towards like the later part of the film, I think both of us can agree was like probably one of the best things about the film was the monster reveal, and just how epic that creature is, and unique too, because I can't think of any other medium that I had seen anything like that. And it's really cool because it actually has historical background. And then going into more detail about the creature would just be like, because we first see him when his friend is being sacrificed, and that scene is like probably the best moment.
Definitely the
that I loved. Yeah, that I
in the movie.
Yeah. So those would be my favorite moments. What were some of yours?
I agree. Like the hallucinations they suffer in this cabin in the middle of the woods. Man, yeah, Luke's was rough because he had to relive basically his friend's murder, and he, again, there's nothing he can do. It's just a memory, and he's just tripping. And then
I love the way they filmed that.
Oh, it was shot beautifully because with the aisle like in the woods in the background, like it was so eerie. And finding their friend Phil upstairs naked, like bowing to this statue, was like, what is going on? It was so bizarre. So that was fantastic. And then of course when the reveal of the creature, because if you go back and watch the movie, there are a couple quick cuts where you can see it way in the background between trees. You think you see something move. So I recommend giving it a second view. I've seen it multiple times now.
That goes into their editing too.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was shot so smart. And but the big reveal in the end when this cult captures them, and they have both Luke and Dom in the cabin, and Dom is the first one to get killed, and they put him on the post, and it comes out, and he sees his wife, and she puts his hands on his face, and then they do that transition, and it's actually this monstrous being, and this deity that they're worshiping, and it was insanely creepy. Like my brain couldn't handle what it was seeing. I was like, what is this? Because I've never seen anything like it. Yeah. And I was just amazed. It was so good, but you can't look away. No matter how gross or weird it is. And then of course when you finally get to see it fully, I think one of the best shots in the whole movie is when Luke is escaping and he has set their cabin on fire, the cult's cabin.
That was hilarious too. I did that.
It was pretty great, but he it's on fire, and you see the creature in all of its glory standing and just looking around, and it is so demonic and so scary. It's
got such a presence too because it's so big, and like especially when the creature imitates Dom's wife. It like when they goes back to his perspective, you just have like its hands. It's like almost like human-like hands that are coming out like the jaw part of the creature's mouth, and it's got those like sunken in, like hooded, like ominous eyes just glowing back. And I mean, it's just like it's something like if you haven't seen it, it's just like.
Describing it will never do it justice. You have to see it, and it's terrifying. Honestly, I love this movie so much. So that is basically the ritual. If you haven't seen it yet, see it. This has my full seal of approval. You need to see this movie if you have Netflix.
Yeah, I would. It's honestly, I think it's worth like buying just a month of Netflix just to get it. I mean, it's $9 or $7. This is like the cheapest thing. You might as well just do it and have Netflix for a month because it's worth. Like honestly, it's probably one of the best creatures designs I've seen in like recent memory.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like Graham said, it's got a great tone and it keeps it, and it gives you kind of that alluring background that they don't spend too much time trying to explain it, but it's there. And if like you get it and like you know some of the history behind it, or if you go back and like look at research some of this it's like really cool and fascinating to see how they did that subtly. Yeah. But like I said, I strongly recommend it too. It's definitely a worth watch, and we hope you guys check it out and like it. Yeah.
So this was our retro review again, addicts. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
All right. See you.